Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know what it is. This is another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We got a lot we want to cover. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about how it's going to help you build your money, your muscle, and your mindset. That's what we do here every Tuesday and Thursday. Let's get it. Yeah. You know what it is. Victory Talk podcast, episode 227. Let's go. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, Gymnasium Jesus, the Southside Savior. And I'm not alone. I'm joined by the best podcast producer in the game, the homie Nemo. What up?
Super excited. Let's get it. 227.
You ever have a part of your back you got to scratch? You can't get it.
Have you seen the things that?
Yeah, I got one of those extender back scratcher extenders, but just not in this office, man.
You got to put one.
I got to put one in every room. I got to put one in every room. All right, man. I'm gonna learn, but it's not just me and Nima. We also got Minovia. You know what I'm saying? She monitoring the chats, kicking out the haters, banning motherfuckers, kicking them the fuck out if they talk shit. And she's reading all the super chats. You know what it is, man? Because that's the only time I see your chats is if they super. I don't see regular chat. But the super chats, they gonna get acknowledged. They gonna get read. We got two sponsors today. Yeah. The first sponsor is not razors for your balls like other podcasts. They want to sell you gadgets to shave your balls. We ain't on that kind of time. What you do with your balls is your business. And I hope I never find out about it. I don't want nothing to do with it. So we're not selling ball shaving gadgets. All right. We're not selling underwear. We're not selling fucking robot mattresses. What else these motherfuckers be selling, man? We definitely not selling LMNT. And they know why. Well, I'm sponsoring this shit myself. Yeah, I'm doing a live training on Wednesday. We did it last Wednesday, but we said we're gonna do it again. We're gonna run it back because people enjoyed it so much. We do a live training where I'm gonna show you exactly how to grow your online fitness business, even if you don't have a big following, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a lot of experience. I'm gonna show you how you can get your first clients online. All right. I'm gonna show you how to get your first clients online. Even if you don't have to look like a supermodel. You ain't gotta look like a fitness model. You just gotta, if you got a transformation like you used to be fat and now you regular, that's perfect. That's perfect. There's some of them are my best students. They don't look like they about to be on the cover of Men's Fitness. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like they're about to be on the cover of Men's Health, but they regular. But they used to be fat. Now they normal. They used to be gross. Now they not gross. If that's you can do that, right? Because a gross motherfucker look at me, he'd be like, he don't think he can ever do that. But he can look at you. You went from gross to regular. And he's like, oh man, that's attainable. And those are some of our best students. We're gonna show you exactly how to do it, how you can make money as an online trainer, either full-time, part-time, half-time. You know, whatever works for you. Some of my students, and it runs the gamut. Some of my students, They took this real seriously, and they make over $1 million a year, right? Some of my students, they just a part-time thing, something they do on the side. They can get a Gucci belt every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Take their girl to a nice restaurant. Tell her she can get whatever she wants off this menu. You know what I'm saying? Today, baby, you can get whatever you. Some of it just looking for some little extra pocket change. Some of them, you know, when generational wealth, right? Depends on how hard you want to go. No matter how hard you want to go, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it this Wednesday. Coming up, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Register for the class. It's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fantastic. All right. We got one more sponsor. Yeah. It has to stay in this briefcase because it contains uranium. Thot Repellent, the easy to apply spray that keeps the hose away. All right. This has been designed for ballers. Motherfuckers, because when you a motherfucker who's rich, you got money, and you in great shape, that combination is super rare, right? Because you know every chick like guys with money, but the gold diggers. Real quick. You might be thinking, man, if I get rich, how do I deal with the girls who only want me for my money? Hey, just don't be a guy who girls only want for their money, right? Because the gold diggers, they fucking fat gringos. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking fat boys who got money. Those the gold diggers, you know? But if you in great shape and you rich, now you every girl's dreams. You the motherfucker she been dreaming about her whole fucking life, right? And if you're ripped, she probably fuck you for free. Yeah. So be the guy she would fuck for free, but you also rich, it's game over. They're gonna be all over you. And so much so that you're gonna need Thot Repellent. All right. Thot Repellent has been genetically engineered by Iranian scientists to only affect the DNA, not of all women, but of skanks, skeezers, sluts, whores, thots, Jezebels, scallywags, hood rats, and Diddy ex-girlfriends. They won't be able to get next to you, right? But a good woman who be reading her Bible or Quran, Nima, you know what I'm saying? She gonna just be like, man, you smell delicious. Dios mío, ay papi, you smell delicious, you know? Because the real ballers, the real niggas, man, we ain't out here trying to figure out how to riz up some girl. The real ballers is like, yo, man, how do I keep all these girls away? No más chicas, por favor. No más culo para mí, you know? And that's why Thot Repellent was developed. We're going to have this out. I talked to our manufacturers in Iran, and they're still enriching enough of the formula for us to get this out to the people. And they tell us that we're about 2 weeks away. It's getting manufactured in Iran, but we have some Jewish investors, and our Jewish investors say that we're 2 weeks away from dropping this bomb on the world, man. 2 weeks away, you know, so that's super exciting. All your super chats go for the development. I got to put this back in this radioactive proof case. All right. Listen, guys, there's a lot of shit I want to talk about today. We're going to have a lot of shit we're going to get into. It's about to be crazy. You're going to learn a lot. First, I just want to tell you a quick story. So the year was, I want to say 2016 or 2017. And it's New Year's Eve. No, it's the day before New Year's Eve. It's the day before New Year's Eve. Right. And my best friend, white boy Brian, you may have seen him in some of the old videos. You ain't seen him around in a long time because he stayed in New York because of his bitch, you know. And I'm sorry. Yeah, his bitch. That's cool. And and anyway, he stayed in New York, but we were both living in New York at the time. And he called me the day before New Year's Eve. And he says, yo, I need your help. I said, hey, man, that's what friends are for. How can I help you? He said, I bought all these 2016 glasses. You know, the fucking glasses, the New Year's glasses or some shit. And I bought too many. I need you to help me sell them in Times Square. I was like, oh, man, all right, another fine mess you've gotten us into, right? This should sound like a sitcom. This should sound like the plot of a Seinfeld episode or something, you know? This shit don't even sound real. But if you knew me and Brian, our life was kind of like a Seinfeld episode. And or like an episode of Martin. If y'all watch Martin Lawrence. Anyway, let's keep going. So I'm like, all right, man. So I meet Brian in Times Square. He has this bag of bullshit, these glasses, and we start selling them to tourists. You know what I'm saying? Because we in Times Square. If you live in New York, you never go to Times Square. Like New Yorkers, we avoid Times Square like the plague. It's like a neon hell. But if you are from out of town, Times Square might be the first place you go. Right. So we shucking and jiving, man, running up on people selling them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dima. Mira. We making money, man. We selling them. I'm like, shit, nigga. Good thing you got the big dog to help you. We're gonna be done with this shit in time for lunch, you know? Because apparently he had went out there trying to sell them himself and it wasn't really good. But then when I came out there, the next thing you know, the fucking police run down on us. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? You know, I that's what I'm thinking. But when you know me, when the police come around, I'm like, hey officer, how you doing? I turn into Carlton from the Fresh Prince when the police are talking to me. Hello, sir. How you doing? Oh, I was just trying to sell some glasses, sir. You know, I don't want no smoke with the cops, right? And Brian started mouthing off. Nima, that's what we call white privilege. You can just yell at the police and expect to live. Not me. I was like, Brian, stop. They're gonna kill me if you keep yelling. And so they arrest us and they take us into custody. Because for the reason was you gotta have a permit to sell shit in Times Square. I ain't know, you know. And so we in different cells. And I'm like, I guess we just gonna be here. It wasn't my first time getting arrested. This wasn't my first rodeo. But for whatever reason, it was taking mad long for them to like take care of our shit, you know. And it just kept getting worse. The nigga in the next cell next to me, he tried to pass me some weed. And I was like, nigga, I know how you must have got that in here. So I ain't take that shit. And then it just kept going. And motherfuckers kept coming in and leaving while we were staying there for hours. And then we ended up being overnight, man. They fucking, they were about to take us to Central Bookings. And at the end, some nigga at the hall was yelling about how I need my AIDS medication. I need my AIDS. He kept yelling, I need my AIDS medication. I'm like, oh, fuck. That shit sound crazy. And it just kept getting worse because we had to stay there a long time and shit was. And then they chained us up to take us to Central Bookings. I'm like, this is getting out of hand. Guess who they chained me up next to? That's right. You guessed it. The nigga who was yelling, I need my AIDS medication. They chained me right next to him. And I ain't got to tell you, man, he was a homosexual. Magic Johnson's the only straight nigga we heard about getting AIDS, right? Anyway, so they tie me up until they handcuff me next to the dying homosexual, and then they take us to central bookings. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been arrested in New York, but it's cool. It's cool as long as you don't go to central bookings, because that's where they book you and you got to stay there. If you just stay in a regular jail and you get out, you get booked, you get out, cool. They took us to central bookings with the criminals. Some of them motherfuckers wasn't getting out. So after I'm riding next to this motherfucker, and then they take us in the central and they put us in a big ass holding cell, right? And it was a little, and I kept like, Brian, this shit keeps getting worse. Like every hour, this situation gets worse and worse and worse. And and then I was trying to, keep my spirits up. And the only thing I could think of was every time somebody asked me what I was in for, I would just be like, murder. I said that shit every time. And Brian would start laughing. And then they gave us some food. They gave us these like peanut butter sandwiches and some Rice Krispies, like the little box of Rice Krispies. I don't know. I can't explain it. And I guess that's prisoner food, right? And they gave us that shit. And I guess something about the peanut butter sandwich, it made Brian like real sick. And he's this motherfucker in the fetal position in central bookings. Like about him, I'm like, damn, man. Hope nobody try to rape him because he can't fend for himself. And I can't fight all these niggas. I was like, Brian, I'm sorry, you can't say the R word on YouTube. Brian, you gonna get graped if they try. I can't fight off all these motherfuckers, man. I won't let the dude with AIDS get you, though. I'm only fighting off the dude with AIDS. Hey, I see No Image. Suck my dick. How about that, man? You can learn about sucking dick, bitch. This is my YouTube. All right, go fuck yourself. So anyway, the shit kept getting worse. Brian about to die and get raped. We go to the judge and they just let us out, man. We didn't even get charged with nothing. It was all that for nothing. I didn't get out to the morning. Moral of the story. No matter, this is what I gained from that situation, right? It was a new perspective that stayed with me forever. It's like, no matter how bad things are, like you can't focus on bad things are. You got to appreciate what's good, because things can always get worse. Things can always get worse. There's no limit to how bad things can get. Shit you hadn't thought of. Like, shit can always get worse. I know people say it could be worse and you don't think about it until you've been in a situation where shit just keeps getting fucking worse. And that perspective has helped me a lot in life. So when I go through challenges, when I'm going through, whether financial challenges, relationship challenges, family drama, it's like I always try to focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong. And it almost like I started appreciating the things that are going right more, because, man, shit can get worse. So when I didn't understand it when people were saying, man, hey, man, it could be worse. I didn't understand it till that day. And I just hope, I know a lot of y'all are going through the struggles right now. I know a lot of y'all there may be things that are difficult in your life. You might be going through some difficulties, right? So what you need to do is really start making lists. Like, honestly, make lists of things that are going well in your life and focus on them, right? And that's going to change your feelings, right? That's going to change the way you feel. And then once you change your state, you'll be in a better position to go attack the things that need challenges, right? That's just the lesson for today. Hey, all right, now that I taught you something, you ready to learn how to fucking get some money? Because I'm ready to teach her to get some money. Let's talk about it. Which one should I do? I got, if I started with 0, I got how to go from. All right, let's go. Sorry, it took a second. I'm going to tell you all what I would do if I was starting from 0. How I would attack my goals. But first, I want to talk about. I know we got some super chats. I want to acknowledge the super chats. Some motherfuckers gave us some money, right? A lot of y'all starting from 0. I'm going to show y'all exactly how to come up. But first, I want to acknowledge these super chats. What they talking about?
We have TT Velez. How would you make 5K in 1 month with online fitness training if you started from 0 today?
Shit, you know, man, listen. All right, so real quick, I mean, a lot of it's going to be in what I want to say, but I'll just tell you right now. All right, so here's step 1. You got to look at the math. We got to look at the math. The math, you only need, if you have 25 clients, and they pay you $80 a week, which is fucking cheap, right? $80 a week, right? And you keep them for 52 weeks, right? If you keep an average of 25 for 52 weeks, that equals $104,000 a year. Boom. So your first, now we're going to work backwards, right? Our first thing we need to do is get 25 clients. All right. How do we get those 25 clients? All right. So the first thing I would do is I'd figure out what my niche is. How much did he pay? $5? All right. I'm like, how deep should I go, man? You can't expect. You can't be giving the $5 niggas too much sauce. No, I'm just playing.
You also have a video exactly on how to make.
Yep, I do have a video on it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Listen, Nima, you can't expect, you can't expect, you know what I'm saying, $1 million behavior from a $5 nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with you, TT. I'm fucking with you, TT. All right. All right. So first you got to figure out your niche. In the way I look at niches, who you want to help, what problem do you want to solve, and how you're going to solve that problem. All right. Boom. And this works in any industry, right? But for online training, it's like this. So first you want to think, you got to pick a gender and an age group, right? So I was going to focus on men, no Diddy. Man, the reason you want to focus on one gender is because marketing to women is different than marketing to men. You get what I'm saying? Marketing to women is different than marketing to men. And they're into different things. You know, like my girl be watching Love Island and all types of what do you call it? Bullshit. And and all I watch, if I ever watch TV, all I'm watching is sports commentary. You know what I'm saying? I watch motherfuckers talk about sports more than I watch the sports. That's insane. Right? But men and women are into different shit. So the marketing is going to have to be different. Right. And then you want to pick an age group. You want to keep it within 10 years. So when I was getting rich, I picked men, pause. Let's about like 25 to 35. Right. And what problems did I want to help them solve? You got to think what problem you focus on. You want to focus on because you don't want to just be a fitness guy. This is what we're doing. You can't just be a fitness guy because you can't stand out. You can't stand out if you're just a fitness guy or a fitness girl. It's too many of them motherfuckers. You're gonna get lost in the sauce, brother. How many trainers are there in the world? You think, right? Millions, right? Right, there's millions of assholes with trainer in their bio, right? We don't want to compete with all them. That's why we have a niche, right? So men aged 25 to 35, what problem do I want to solve for them? Get ripped. That's what I focused on, getting ripped. So I didn't care if you wanted to be a pro athlete, you wanted to play. I didn't care if you wanted to be a power lifter. This wasn't for motherfuckers who wanted to get ripped for longevity. It was just young men who wanted to get ripped, right? So I had some students who focus on helping women get a bigger butt, right? They doing God's work. They working for all of us, really, you know. And I got some students who help old people with longevity. I got some. It's all different needs, right? Boom. So you got to really think about it. The who, the what problem you want to solve. And the thing is, because you want to be a specialist. Like I'm a good trainer, man. Like I'm really good. And I can help anybody with anything. Like I wasn't focused on pro athletes, but I had actually trained motherfuckers in the NFL, right? But I know I couldn't market to everyone just because you can train everyone. And then the how, you want to pick what's your mechanism, right? So me, I focused on keto and bodybuilding. Keto and bodybuilding. Let me write it out so y'all don't get confused. So it's keto diet and bodybuilding style training. Right? Or to be more specific, it wasn't even really bodybuilding now that I think about it. It was more like full body workouts because I've been talking about that for fucking years. Let me erase that. Full body workouts. All right. Now remember, there's millions of motherfuckers who are training online. But how many of them help men age 25 to 35 get ripped? Like focus on that with the ketogenic diet and full body workouts, right? Now I stand out. You get what I'm saying? Now I stand out. I'm not like everybody else, right? There's something unique about this, you know? And as a result, when this person who wants to solve this problem with this method, when they find me, they can't price shop, right? Because out of the millions of trainers, I'm the only one doing this, or one of the few who are doing this. You get what I'm saying? So now you stand out. And this works for any business, right? I'm probably about to say the same shit again in a minute. I probably, right? And so once you have that's step one, then you want to start posting content on IG, Instagram, IG and Instagram is fuck. IG and Instagram are where people make the most money. Trainers don't make a lot of money on TikTok for whatever reason. It's good for branding though, right? So you start posting content. What kind of content? You post content that helps these people accomplish this goal this way. You get what I'm saying? And what happens is, even if nobody's watching your shit, that's fine, right? Because people will find it. Some people will find it, right? So everybody who comments, likes, or follows you, right? Or any of your shit, all comments, all engagement, you're gonna DM them, right? You're gonna DM them something to the effect of, yo, it's best to do it with a video so they know it's not automated. Like, yo, what's going on, Quintavious? Thanks for the follow. Let me know, man. Are you here because you're trying to get in shape? You're trying to get ripped, or you just enjoying the content? Let me know what's up. All right. And if they say that they're trying to get ripped, then you start asking them questions. You go through the DM scripts. I give my students DM scripts, but you start asking them questions about their goals, what problems, what they tried, what they're trying to do now, what's holding them back. And then you say, man, I can explain exactly how I can help you come up with a game plan. But it's best if we do it over Zoom, man. You got some time to jump on a call. You get on a Zoom call. That's a sales call. And then you sell them a package, right? It's either going to be $80 a week, like weekly, right? Or monthly, $297 or $300. Or you can give them a deal. It's a steal at $997 for 16 weeks. Right? It gets a little cheaper when they buy more in bulk, kind of like the dope gang. Right? And right? And what do they get from that, man? They're gonna get every month, they're gonna get a workout plan made by you, meal plan. Oh. A meal plan and check-in calls. Boom. Now they can get this from AI or anywhere, the meal plan and workout plan. But what AI can't do is make sure that they do it. Right? Can't make sure they do it. So your job, you can set up like a Google sheet or a little app, or there's a lot of apps for trainers. I'm actually coming out with my own app for trainers within a few weeks. We're a few weeks out from having it. I've been keeping it quiet, but I've been working on the side. My own app for trainers coming soon, right? But for right now, you can just set up some Google Docs, right? Set up some Google Sheets in the Google Sheets or Notion or whatever, right? It could be something as simple as something like this, boom, like, my how to be a fat ass sheet, how to stop being a fat ass sheet. So you could just set it up like dates, and they put in like how many calories they consumed each day. If you're having them track how many calories they burn each day, you can put that in there. Boom. Maybe put their protein in, just something like that, so you can see it as it happens. And you're gonna hit them up every day, and you're gonna be like, "Yo, bro." Okay, my fault. If they did hit their numbers, then you hit them up. You congratulate them. Yo, man, good shit yesterday, man. I'm glad you did your thing. Let's keep that momentum going. If they didn't hit their numbers, you can be like, hey, bitch, nigga, what the fuck? Or whatever your disposition is, But you want to talk to them every day, right? Because now you're training them to do it and they know you're watching them. People perform better when they know they're being watched, when someone's keeping them accountable. So as an online trainer, you're really an accountability coach, right? You have your own methods, right? But the truth is anything will work. You take the average asshole off the street and you tell this motherfucker, man, hey, fucking do 100 push-ups a day, get 10,000 steps and fucking eat this and that, right? Anything will work, right? But they have to do it for it to work. Our job is to make sure they do it. This is why it works even if you don't have a lot of experience, because anything will work, right? But we're really accountability coaches, right? And you may be thinking, who's going to pay for this? Motherfuckers who need accountability, which is all of them, and probably your fat ass, right? You ain't in the kind of shape you want to be. You ain't in fucking elite shape because you ain't got no one keeping you accountable. Everybody would benefit from this. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's actually really cheap. It's cheaper than an in-person trainer and better. It's better because we're making sure they follow their diet. Right? You cannot out-train a bad diet, but you can out-diet bad training. Let me repeat that. You cannot out-train a bad diet, but you can out-diet bad training. So so in-person trainers, they're charging like $100 per session on average. You got to see that person 3 times a week at least, right? So that's $300, and they're not even doing the most important part, which is making sure you follow your diet, right? It's an inferior product. In-person training is an inferior product. And this is coming from somebody who started as an in-person trainer 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, if you want to learn more about that, I'm doing a live training this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will show you exactly how to do this from start to finish. All right. Click the link in the description and sign up. All right. That might be a video. I don't know, depending on how. Maybe. We'll do it when we leave. All right. Cool. All right. What else we got?
We have Sunny. What are some of the long-term index funds you hold?
VOO, QQQ, and IBIT. QQQ is the NASDAQ. VOO is just a version of the S&P 500. It's Vanguard's version, I believe. And IBIT is the Bitcoin ETF, right? Because I believe Bitcoin is like SPY for crypto. So now I feel like my bases are covered with those 3. All right.
We have Julian Brandon. Tips to make better ads. Thanks.
Tips to make better ads. It starts with making good videos, man. Good creatives. Like making good creatives. So you want to hook people in the first 5 seconds. You want to hook people in the first 3 seconds. I'm sorry, you got like about 3 seconds with the hook. To bring them in, and then you have to get to the point, have a strong CTA, and it has to be the ad has to be engaging within itself. You definitely want to put captions on it because I read a stat that 80% of people watch videos on mute. Like my girl should be looking at Instagram and TikTok with the sound off, and like that shit is crazy to me, right? But she do it, and she's and more people do that than what I do, blasting TikTok full volume, right? I don't watch TikTok. I watch YouTube Shorts. Anyway, same fucking shit. And but what's more important is the targeting. The targeting is very important. And what happens after the ad? Like people, like sometimes, I've ran ads for a lot of people, and they'll come in back in the day, and I used to have an agency, and they'll come in and be like, "Oh, can you run my ads?" And it's like, we have to fix what happens after they click, because I can get people to click the button, but what happens after? Like, we got to test your landing pages. We got to do split tests and shit. We got to see how much those pages are converting. We might have to fucking restructure your whole offer so it works. right? So getting somebody, an ad's only job is to get the person to click. Once they click, now it's wherever they're sent to after they click, it's that landing page's job to make the sale, So it's more to it than just ads when it comes to making good ads. All right. Let's run this again. Let's run this. I want to talk about what I would do if I was starting from zero. If I lost everything and I was broke like you and I had to start over and get rich again, here's what I would do. I'm going to break the whole thing down in this video, and you'll be able to follow this plan step by step. Even if you're not broke, maybe you're not starting from zero, but you can start from wherever you're at. You'll find where you're at in the timeline, and then you start following the instructions from there. All right. So if you're broke, I'm assuming you don't have any skills, right? Oh, so if you are broke right now, I have to assume you don't have any high income skills. I have to assume you don't have any high income skills, because people with high income skills are in demand, right? They are in demand. So if you're broke, you don't have high income skills. That's why you're broke. Nobody wants to give you a lot of money for your talent, your work, your goods, or your services, right? Or there's a rare case where someone does have talents and skills and they just don't know how to market them, but they're more rare, All right. So here's what you need to do. You need to do step one. I don't have to write it. Step one, develop high income skill sets, right? And I have other videos on high income skills, but I'll give you a list of a few of them that I think will work here now in 2025, 2026, and beyond. Put an echo on my voice. You heard it too? All right. Here's a list of high income skills, right? High ticket sales. If you're good at sales, you will always be in demand. Everybody I know who has a business that makes its income from high ticket sales are always looking for good closers. 100% of the time. Nobody's ever said, man, I got enough rock star closers. I don't need no more amazing closers. No entrepreneur has ever said that. So if you're good at high ticket sales, you will always be in demand. And we are a long way from AI replacing a good closer. Like, we are a long way away from that. All right. And number two, the next one would be another high income skill would be coding. Like learning to code. It's still a valuable skill. I know we have AI tools that can help code for you, like vibe coders and shit. But that shit don't be amazing, bro. That shit don't be amazing. It'd be fine. So the beauty of all these vibe coding tools like Bolt, Lovable, Claude Code, Firebase Studios is, if you are a coder, man, it makes your job so much easier because you don't have to start from scratch. Right? Coding now with AI is the equivalent of when producers started sampling. Like before music producers started sampling other records, like they used to have to have a bunch of musicians in the studio, right? Quincy Jones was writing the score writing the score and the sheet music for the musicians, right? But then we were able to start sampling, make the job way quicker. You still got to have some talent though. Anyway, it's like that for coding. I'm missing one. All right, I'll keep going. All right. Then there's project management. Project management is a high ticket skill. Project management is a high income skill set, and companies are always hiring project managers to manage projects, right? There's funnel building. If you can learn how to build funnels and or websites, AI can't replace a good funnel builder or a good website builder yet, but it can make your job way easier, right? So there's funnel building. There's media buying. So if you know how to run ads on Facebook, Instagram, the next high income skill is media buying. So if you know how to run ads on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Google, if you're really good at that, you're always in demand. And AI is not even trying to replace that right now. If anything, AI is making that job easier if you're good at it, right? The next tool is the next high income skill would be being a AI specialist. These are people who are prompt engineers, AI agent builders, right? People who are really well versed in large language models and machine learning, right? Companies hire these people. Companies actually hire these people to help build or run their AI infrastructures. You know, I know people who do that for a living, and they get paid a lot of money by different businesses. Right? Another one would be software engineering. If you are a good software engineer, means start to finish, a full stack software engineer, you can make a lot of money, man. It could be with your own business, your own software, or you're getting paid to build software. You know, that's another high income skill. Or data science. That's slept on. Data science is another high income skill. Then there's video editing, right? Video editing is a high income skill. Or coaching. Out of all these high income skills, coaching probably has the lowest barrier of entry, right? Because all you got to do is be able to help somebody who doesn't know shit about something, right? And I first got rich. I would pick coaching. I would pick coaching again if I was starting from zero. The reason being is because that's how I started when I was at zero, right? I started online coaching, helping people get in shape online. And I built a multi-seven-figure business doing it. Like first, I started making a few $1,000s a month, then $10,000 a month, then 20. I was able to scale that. Then I started getting employees and people working for me, taking it to the next level. So that's what I would do because it's the lowest barrier of entry. But you can pick any of these skill sets. Hey, before I keep going on the next steps. Okay, so that's step one. Figure out what high income skill you want to master or get really good at, because you're going to need a high income skill to make high income. All right. That's step one. Figure out the high income skill that you want to master. If you are interested in coaching, especially online coaching, I'm going to help you for free. I'm going to give you a free resource where you can jump on where I'm going to teach you live how to grow your online fitness business, even if you're just starting out, even if you don't have a lot of experience, even if you're not certified. I'm going to break down the whole business for you from start to finish. It's going to be live this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the link in the description and sign up for the class. Right? I'm going to teach you everything there is to know. I'm not even going to sell you anything after it. And I'm going to stay on as long as I can to answer all of your questions. All right. That's step. So, okay. Now, step two is actually taking time to master one of these high income skills. Right? So there's a lot of free resources for all of these skills online. It's probably better if you pay, right? Because sometimes you get what you pay for, but you broke, right? So take advantage of all those free resources there are online. There's free ones and there's cheap ones, but take advantage of all these free resources online. Utilize AI to help you teach. Utilize AI to help you learn it, right? Or you can jump on that free training that I'm doing if you want to learn about online training. But each one of these skills, there's free resources or inexpensive resources to learn these things. So spend as much time as you can really getting good at these things. Okay. Now, now we need to turn, now that we got the skills, step 3, we have to turn this into money. Now, you could try to get hired, but you can try to get hired, and that's going to revolve around you posting your resume on LinkedIn, monster.com, and whatever other job sites there are. ZipRecruiter, all that shit. Or you can start your own business. You can start your own business in each one of these domains. And here's how you go about that. First thing you do is you find, let's call it maybe between 5 and 10 people or companies or whatever, 5 to 10 people that you can help for free. Right? You say, hey, listen, I'm going to help you with this for free in exchange for testimonials. Right? When I teach my online training students this, we call it the testimonial harvest. This is for people who don't have a lot of experience, never did this before. First thing we need to do is need to get them some testimonials, right? So you're going to help some people for free, right? So you might be coding for someone for free. You might be building AI agents for someone for free. You might do project management or data analytics for a company for free in exchange for testimonials. You can do it for a month in exchange for testimonials. But the reason you need between 5 and 10 is because, especially if you're doing some sort of coaching, when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. So a lot of these people are going to fall off and not take you seriously because you ain't put up no cash, right? It just be like that sometimes, right? So about half the people are going to fall off if you're doing coaching, right? But you don't need all of them. You just need half. And if you want to really go hard to help them accomplish whatever goal they want to accomplish, right? And then you get a testimonial from them, written testimonial and a verbal testimonial. You could just get a verbal testimonial and transcribe it, right? You want to get a verbal video testimonial from these people. Boom. That's that step, right? And then once you have, that, now you move on to the next step. When you start using those testimonials for your marketing to market your business, or you use it for your resume, right? You might, if you're trying to get a job, maybe you use these, maybe you did some projects for some people, right? And now you have references, right? Either way, it's for your own business or for references. And this is when you start marketing yourself online, right? If you're trying to get a job, then again, it's Indeed, Monster, LinkedIn, shit of that nature. But if you see your own business, maybe some of this stuff will work on Indeed, right? But you can go on what's that site where motherfuckers are? You can get freelancers off of. Yeah, depending on what your thing is, you can go on Fiverr, Upwork. If you're trying to do online coaching, then you just go to social media, start posting your transformations. Instagram is where my students make the most money. Instagram. And Facebook, people still on Facebook, man, and they still spending money on Facebook, and you start marketing, use your testimonials as your marketing. Boom. Then you start getting your first paid clients. And that's exactly what I would do if I was broke. And if I followed this, I'd be making money in between 60 and 90 days. Right. And if you already have the skill sets, if you're already good at things, you can skip that step. Right. If you already know what you want to do, you can skip that step. And if you already are good at what you do and you skip that step, now it's just boom, go get the testimonials and start marketing. Again, if you want to learn how to do this in the online fitness industry, that's how I made my first million. I'm doing a live training this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'll show you exactly how to do that. Click the link in the description, sign up. It's going to be live. I'm going to break down the whole business for you. I'm not going to sell nothing on the call. If you come on trying to buy something, I'm going to say, no, nothing's available for you. All you can do is learn for free, right? And I'm going to let you, and I'm going to stay on after to answer all your questions. Click that link in the description. Sign up now, all right? All right. Hey, guys, you want to learn how to make some money online with the stock market, crypto, and futures? We about to do that with the market update. Let's go. Yo, what up? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter, aka King Keto, and I'm here with the homie, Young Candlestick, and we about to go over the market recap for today. What's going on, brother?
What's up, Brandon? It was a wild day today, but then the market did absolutely nothing. The market's waiting. It's waiting on Jerome Powell. See, tomorrow we have the Jackson Hole meeting, and that's where a bunch of people are going to ask Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chair, hey, what's going on with inflation? What's going on with the job market? Are we going to get those rate cuts? And this is really important to understand for like the total economy, because when the Federal Reserve cuts rates, that's when inflation spikes higher. Things will start to cost more when the Fed cuts rates. But on the bright side of things, when the Fed cuts rates, businesses are able to borrow more money. Consumers are able to borrow more money for cheaper. And so you get a bit of a growth spurt. And it also really helps out the job market because businesses can hire people for cheaper. They can, they can leverage out their money. They can borrow money to pay their employees. And so what Jerome Powell is thinking about is, okay, how can we not spike inflation, but also keep the job market stable? Me personally, I wouldn't mind inflation if, business is booming all around. That's just my opinion.
If you're making more money, you don't care about inflation, is what I mean.
Exactly. Inflation tends to hurt the boomers and the old people a little bit more. And the poor, because they're on fixed income and low income. So that inflation is a greater percentage of their total income. So it's a give and take. You got to decide what's really important. And Jerome Powell could be fighting something called stagflation. And that's a period where there's really high inflation. So shit costs a lot, but growth is really, really slow. So there's not enough demand really. So people are just struggling all around. It's really nasty, and markets tend to drop a lot if there's a period of stagflation.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is, let me see if I understand this. Yeah. If he cuts rates, it's typically good for growth.
Yep.
However, it will increase inflation.
Yep. It'll increase inflation. And if the Fed cuts rates, generally what that does is that weakens the dollar because it creates more dollars in supply. So if there's more dollars in supply, the value of the dollar starts to drop. What happens if the dollar starts to drop? What happens to gold?
Gold goes up.
Gold goes up. Gold goes up. So I am bullish gold.
All right. So because we're in a few gold trades right now, we want him to cut that inflation.
Yeah, we want him to cut rates and spike inflation.
Yeah. He wants to. That's what I'm gonna say. Cut rates. Cut them to zero because we in a few gold trades.
Yeah. Cut them to zero. and things like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of like our digital dollar, quote unquote. Bitcoin has a finite supply. Bitcoin could rally if they cut rates. Okay. That's just a hypothesis. Really, anything can happen. Keep an eye on the interest rate ETF, TBT, and you could see bonds, the TLT. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Not always.
What time does Jerome speak tomorrow? What time does Jerome speak?
Let me double check on that. Yeah. I think he might be speaking for a while. So let me double check on that.
I've never met a white man named Jerome.
Me neither.
Every Jerome I know was a dude from the hood, man. and sometimes I knew one of them. He sold socks on Stony Island Boulevard. So like people would drive by. He had bags of socks that he was selling. That was Jerome. Yeah, I knew another Jerome. He was an old man when we was kids in Chicago, and we would pay him to buy us liquor. He would just be outside the liquor store kicking it. That was one of his jobs. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how them brothers are doing, man.
Yeah, I wonder as well. I mean, that's kind of what Jerome is doing. He's like, you need some alcohol, you need some rate cuts. I got you guys.
Jerome been holding us down for a long time.
Actually. I know, right?
Shout out to all the Jeromes of the world, man.
Hey, shout out to you guys. It's kind of like how we were talking in the live.
Get your socks, your stocks.
Yeah.
If you Jerome, you got socks and stocks. That's what I heard.
Just open up the trench coat. What you It's kind of like this morning with one of our Victory Trades members selling laptops.
Oh yeah, we got so listen to Victory Trades. That's what we trade every morning.
Yeah.
We trade futures every morning.
Mm-hmm.
At the market with all our Victory Trade members. And one of the guys, man, Imran,
Yeah.
he sells,
Or is it Transcend?
It's one of them.
One of them.
They sell laptops, but they won't tell us where they're getting them from, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Their
man,
futures trading profits. That's where they're getting them from.
Hey man, I'd like to believe that, but yo, can I show them my profits for today?
Yeah, please do. Please
So
do.
I trade with funded accounts with a prop firm called Apex morning, and I made $8,000, about $800 per account, between $700 and $800 per account,
Times
and
20.
that meant,
Times 20. That's 16
times 20,
grand?
about 16 grand.
Oh.
About 16 grand. And these are funded Apex accounts. We trade live every morning. If you want to trade with us, trade futures. If you want to learn how to get funded, you know, how to pass the exam to get funded. If you want to, we can help you with that. Join Victory Trades, man. It's cheap. And not only do you get to trade with us every morning, you like follow our trades. Me and Greg trade, share our screens, show you exactly what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But we also, you also get Greg's trade alerts on stocks and options throughout the week. I took one of them trades today, man.
Oh, really? Yeah. Did you?
I took the gold trade.
You took the gold trade? Nice,
Yeah.
nice. We had some other really nice winning trades. Like look at Freight and Finance. He took an Iron Condor trade. Boom, $150. Easy.
Come on.
Easy. He took a butterfly trade because I told him, hey, this is the most likely closing price for the SPX.
Yeah.
He made 228%, $700.
Come on,
I mean, it's pretty cool what you can do. And these don't take day trades. If you hold them to expiration.
Yeah. Like if you do a fucking Iron Condor, it doesn't fuck with the PDT rule.
Yeah, if you hold it to expiration, if you do want to take profits early or cut your losses early, it does use a day trade. But
even if it's not the same day.
If it's not the same day, then it doesn't use a day trade.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
trade an Iron Condor.
Yeah.
But what's also cool about those index options is that they're tax advantage. So a portion of the capital gain is taxed at long-term capital gain. So when you get your taxes at the end of the year, if you have a ton of profits from index options, you're going to owe less taxes. And remember that your gains, your losses can offset your gains. So if you ever have a bad trading day, don't get too down. Just be like, hey, I'm just going to
just to be clear, the trade alerts are swing trades.
Yeah.
Right. But in our day trades, we do live because it's hard to fucking call out. You know, we do it live every morning.
You were slinging it though today,
man.
Brandon.
I was on fire today.
You were on fire. You were calling out all the little dips, all the breakouts, all the sell-offs.
Man, I was on fire, yo. Me and the team, we all made some money. Today was a good day trading.
It was a lot of fun. It's wild, that's for sure. So we talked about what's happened in the market. The market didn't really do too much. It was down slightly, kind of chopped, flopped back and forth. That's why I was looking at the Iron Condors. What's the VIX doing? Our volatility and fear index. How nervous is Wall Street? And the VIX is up today, up 5.8%. And this is, a bit concerning for the market, for the buyers. And that just means that, hey, we could see a little bit more of a sell-off. If we look at the fear and greed index, how does Wall Street feel? What's the sentiment in the market? It's right there at neutral. So it could go either way tomorrow. And
we waiting on Jerome.
Yeah, we're waiting on
Jerome in the house.
The expected move for the SPY tomorrow is about $5.80. That means it's not likely to go more than $5.80 higher from here, and it's not likely to drop more than $5.80 tomorrow. So if you see it super oversold or it's down like $10 or up like $10, you could take the mean reversion trade. So you could short it if it's super overbought, or you could buy it if it's super oversold. I just be careful. Keep an eye on that volatility. That's going to be key. All right. So in terms of other markets, GDX, the gold miners, the shovel squad, they're doing really, really well. They're actually outperforming gold. This is just breaking out of this flag break right now. Rally, consolidate sideways. And today, just breaking out on a slight increase in volume. I like GDX, gold miners. Another one is Freeport Mining, FCX. This one could be putting in a higher low pivot, and if it breaks out, it could be retesting something like 44. So I am watching that for a potential trade idea. And Brandon, you brought up XLP. Look at that. XLP, big breakout.
Look at the tape.
Look at the tape.
I said XLP.
You know, it kind of sold off a little bit with the market today, but a big breakout yesterday. This is like a short squeeze on consumer staples, which is absolutely wild. I'm liking the biotech sector for longs if the market is going to be strong. It's breaking
wild, man. That's where it gets crazy.
It's an ETF, so it's not too crazy. And, you know, you can trade options on it. It's not wild.
No, it is ETF. That's true.
It is an ETF, and it's not a single stock. Now, single stock biotechs, you better buckle up. The stock could be up 50% or down 50% at any given moment.
Any moment, man. Yo, biotech is one of the wildest markets.
No, it certainly is. So those are the main things I wanted to cover. The market's in a holding pattern. Tomorrow's like an earnings announcement for the S&P 500. It's probably going to be up or down by quite a bit. If I had to pick, I am leaning a little bit more bearish. So just note, I am leaning a little bit more
bearish. Good for our gold trade.
You know, it's what's nice about the gold trade is it's kind of unrelated to the S&P. That's what's nice about it.
But it's not to the dollar, right? You know what I'm saying? Because what he's going to say is with it, because if the market goes down tomorrow, it's because he's going to raise rates, right?
He likely won't raise rates, but he might say,
we not lowering.
Make sure inflation is good, so we're just not going to cut. And a big thing that they can look at is oil prices. If oil prices are high, it's kind of like a barometer, another measure of inflation. If oil prices are high, the Fed might be like, maybe we won't cut rates. We're going to wait and see if oil prices can come down. And so that's where Trump's drill baby drill comes in. Because if he drills...
Oh, sorry. My fault, man.
We dancing?
Well, no, I just wanted to show you, like, Jerome in the house.
Yeah, show it.
Just Jerome in the house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is what I think of every time Jerome about to peak. If y'all ever watch Martin... Yeah, so Jerome in the house.
Jerome is in the house.
Jerome in the house.
That's absolutely wild.
Yeah. All right, I think you got some questions, man. The people got some questions for you, homie.
Let's check it out. What we got here? Oh, okay. Candlestick. Good to see you, Mendoza. He says the best strikes for selling puts on UNH, QXO, and Microsoft. Let's check it out. So UNH, I'm just writing these down. QXO and Microsoft. So you are going to need a decent amount of capital. So this is good. So UNH, this is United Healthcare. I did predict that it was going to go sideways this week. If you guys watched the free weekly game plan in the free Victory Unit Discord, I post that in the trading chat. I was saying I'm expecting UNH to probably go sideways. We've done exactly that. What you can do is you want to look at key support levels, and those are good areas to sell puts. Key support areas can be retracement zones, Fibonacci, Elliott wave, but I really like gaps.
Fibonacci.
So, I think of like Mario and Luigi.
Fibonacci, yeah.
So when you see this fat ass gap up, this is from Warren Buffett buying 5 million shares after we bought it. We had some nice profits on UNH.
Warren was mad late.
Yeah, Warren was late to victory.
He was late, man. We was way ahead of Warren. Come on, man.
He should have been studying the bullish RSI divergence.
He should have been watching Victory Talk. Is what he should have been doing.
Seriously, Warren.
Yeah, Warren, step your game up, man.
I'm open to a phone call if you ever want.
Listen. I can help you out, brother. All right, I can help you out. Don't even trip.
All I require is like a 25% stake in Berkshire.
Listen, man, you know, all I need is a shout out.
Yeah.
If you Warren, you shout me out on Instagram.
Whoa.
I'll help you with your next trade. All right. Give me a shout out on the gram, homie.
Get to a billion followers. Get to a billion followers.
Yeah. Write my son's recommendation to Harvard.
Yes.
My son's only 8. So I want it now. Warren wrote this right before he died because he knew what kind of shit my little man was on.
Yeah.
Hey, well, let's keep going.
Yeah. So a put to sell on UNH, it is going to take $27,000 in buying power, but you will get a guaranteed $1,000 profit if you commit to buy 100 shares at 270. So I'd look at selling the 270 strike cash secured put expiring November 21st. Okay. It takes 27 grand. You get $1,000 guaranteed if you commit to buy the shares. You also get a nice 3.2% dividend to hold on to UNH. Okay. So that's the support level, and November and December tend to be bullish months. So you want to line up those strike prices with the bullish seasonality. So that's on UNH. Let's check out QXO. I was doing some fundamental research on this. They said that the fair value of this stock is about 25. It's looking a little bit bearish short term, like it's just starting to break support. This is kind of like a rollover formation. You got the middle finger pattern. Stock is saying fuck you to people. And basically what's going on is if it breaks underneath 1869, it's likely going to test that 200-day moving average at 1634. So if you're going to sell puts, something like the 16 strike or the 17 strike looks all right. I need to double check the option chain on this. And again, go out to November 21st. Remember that this isn't financial advice. This is just my opinion. I'd look at selling the 16 strike cash secured put. You're going to get 4 or 5% guaranteed if you commit to buy 100 shares at 16 on November 21st. If it's beneath 16, you'll be assigned. If it's 1601 or higher, you'll just keep the premium and you'll just get your cash back. But no matter what, if you hold the expiration, you keep the premium. Let that be remembered.
You always keep the premium, baby.
If you hold the expiration, you always keep the premium. If you get assigned and it's well underwater, you'd be underwater on the shares. But if it recovers long-term, you're good to go. Microsoft, I like 483, 480 strike cash secured puts.
Hey.
Okay. So if we're going out to like November 21st, 480 strike cash secured put is paying $1,200. It does cost. You will have to put up $48,000 in buying power. Just be aware of that 48 grand. It's in a safer blue chip company. So Microsoft's not going to go to zero anytime soon. So,
yeah, I love this stock, bro. You know, I'm a big fan.
Me too.
Their business model, like they make so much money off the cloud shit. You don't even think about it. Azure, right? I'm pretty confident. Like motherfucking Gronk runs on Azure. ChatGPT runs on it. Yeah,
ChatGPT and Microsoft is business to business. Right?
Yeah, it's business to business. Business to business.
B2B. The businesses have more money than the consumers, that's for sure.
Yeah, let me I'm gonna search this shit, man.
Yeah. So Nav is asking us what time you trade. 15 minutes before market opens at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. We usually go for about 2 hours. Sometimes if we're super busy that day, it's only 1 hour. Sometimes if I have a little bit more free time, it'll be 3 or 4 hours. And what's cool about Victory Trades is we got a ton of different channels. So like you can go over to the VT voice channel and you can hang out with other members and like game plan and trade and share your screens, collaborate. It's a great community. So we got the stage channel where Brandon and I are talking and going live. Then when we end, a lot of people go over to the Victory Trades voice channel and they get to just hang out a little bit more, pick each other's brains, learn from other traders, what's working, what's not working. So yeah, 15 minutes before market opens, 9:15 a.m. Eastern.
Bro, so they make $75 billion annually from Azure, their cloud computing network. Just Azure. Wow. That's not talking about the Microsoft Surfaces. Yeah. That's not OpenAI. You know what I'm saying? That ain't Windows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't 75 billion. And that 75 billion is only 26% of their revenue.
That's amazing. Don't you want to join in on that? Because when you're buying the stock, you're buying ownership in that company. You get to rack in some of those profits.
Coca-Cola got a 5-year deal with them. Legal tech, a bunch of AI firms. Yeah, it's intense, man. Isn't like they really doing their thing.
I
Telling
like
you, man.
Microsoft buys.
Viacom, LG, eBay,
Oh,
Boeing, Adobe, Walmart. All so if they're all running off Microsoft Azure, you know. They got a huge cloud computing business, man.
I really like Microsoft 480 down to 450. It would be weird if Microsoft got underneath 400 like ever again, but it could happen, you know. It's unlikely though, unless
anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen.
Oh, and
but it's a game of probabilities.
Yep, it's all probabilities and then risk to reward, and you want to find those trades where it's a high probability and a good risk to reward. And if you don't have a good risk to reward, that's fine. You just need a much higher probability. You know?
Nav asking if you can trade on what time we trade, and can we trade on Thinkorswim? So we trade futures at before we were on before. What time you come on? You come on at like 9:15.
Yep.
9:15. Yeah, and I'm on a little bit after that, usually like before the market open for sure. And but you can trade futures with Thinkorswim. When I first started trading futures, I was trading with Thinkorswim, right? Back when it was TD Ameritrade.
Yep.
But so you can, but we trade with funded futures accounts with Apex. Excuse me. And with Apex, you have to use either Tradeovate or NinjaTrader. I use NinjaTrader.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I can do 20 accounts at once.
Kevin, he's got a good profile picture. He says, "Thank God for trading futures."
Yeah.
It's a useful skill. It's a high income skill. It can be an expensive skill if you don't build your skills beforehand. That's why we teach you to download historical data and practice before you actually go in and do the evaluation. But it's a much better way to day trade in the market than risking your own money. Because remember that most day traders are going to lose money and most day traders fail. Why wouldn't you want to build up your skills beforehand? And then once your skills are really good, then you can start to increase.
That's what I did. When I was developing my strategy, I did 20 hours of sim trading. I'm sorry, 200 hours of sim trading.
At least.
Yeah.
It's if you're good at video games, you could probably be a really good futures trader.
Yo, man, especially today, man. So today, a lot of times I have enough time to set my orders on the chart, take a screenshot, show everybody what I'm doing. But today it was just like, guys, keep your finger on the trigger. We call it Call of Duty trading. And I was in that shit. I was all right, going short, boom, then take profit. It was like that quick, you know. It was like I wasn't in a trade for more than a few seconds today, but sometimes, you know, it's not always like that.
Yeah, no, it was wild. There was a lot of algos and just like big spikes, big dump, big pump, big dump, big pump. Liquidity grabs everywhere where it just barely breaks support and then zips back up. Breaks resistance, sells off.
It was an intense day, man.
Oh, I know. It was absolutely wild. So there's setups everywhere. It's just you got to be careful and you got to manage your risk.
Yeah.
And we got Indy over here. He said made $155 on an Iron Condor today from Trade Ideas.
Yo, yeah. Indy, what up?
What's up, Indy? He's an online trainer as well. So if you're an online trader, there's a lot of online trainers that are in victory trades. But to recap this Iron Condor trade, I was noticing.
I'm using the bathroom while you recap that trade.
Yeah. Go urinate. So we got the Iron Condor here. What's an Iron Condor? We think that the market is going to go sideways or chop or stay within a range. We don't think it's going to go up way too much. We don't think it's going to go down way too much. And why did I think that? Well, yesterday we had a really, really big range. It's important to remember that volatility, aka our ranges, it goes in like a sinusoid. So ranges expand, and then after a long period of range expansion, ranges contract. It's got to digest the move. It just ate a big meal. It needs to digest the move. So big move down yesterday, big move up after the big move down. We're likely to stay underneath the highs and above the lows. Okay, knowing that, hey, let's do an Iron Condor trade. I'm going to put up a little bit more capital. I had to put up about $350 to make $150. It was a little bit less than that, but still. And I just needed the SPX to close within this range. That's the range that I basically dictated for the day. And we closed right in that range, maybe a little bit lower. and that just hits the max profit. No day trades used, and you get all the cash immediately. You get it the next day, which is really nice. So Iron Condors, it's a form of like passive trading where you're the house, you're not being the casino. You're not gambling. You're just letting the odds and probabilities play out. Sometimes the market does just tank and I got to cut losses on an Iron Condor. But most of the time, my Iron Condors will win. I have a 77% win rate on Iron Condors.
Talk that shit.
Yeah. It's cool. Like, you guys should see this. I'm trying to be super humble here because you guys should see the stats of the victory trade alerts. You guys get access to that when you get in.
You remember when I was doing Iron Condors every week?
Oh, yeah.
I was doing that was back before they had daily options on SPY. So I was doing Iron Condors on SPY every other day.
Yeah.
No, it was like 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday.
I remember there were some times where it was like really close and you're texting me, you're like, should I hold? Just hold it. It just
intense, man.
Deep breath and just hold it. You have to do that sometimes. You just have to let the probabilities play out. There will be some losses. There will be some wins. You want to end up on top in the long run. Look at this weekly chart. It's wild.
What are we looking at?
Or monthly chart.
Of what?
Just the S&P 500.
Oh, the S&P 500. Yeah.
It's a little bit up there from the lows of April. So even if the market were to drop, it would seem like a big crash or a correction, but it would likely hold some sort of support.
Look at the weekly chart of gold, the futures in GC.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's not a hot base.
You know, it is. The biggest concern, and it's not really a concern, I'm long gold, is just that it broke the all-time high and zipped back in. That does kind of make it a little bit of overhead supply, but it's pulling back, putting in a higher low, holding up strong. Gold has outperformed the S&P 500, and it's a hedge against inflation. So if the Fed cuts rates, cool. Gold tends to do just fine.
Yeah.
You know, if gold does break down, it'll just happen. It'll just be another losing trade. It won't be like anything crazy. I'm not super sized up on gold. I've got an appropriate risk on gold longs.
I'm in there.
Okay.
All right. I'm in there.
All right.
And I've been in there for a minute.
Okay.
You know, on my gold longs.
What we can do then is if you get a pump, you can scale out just a little bit. You can set some break-even stops and then just let it ride for a few years or till the next contract.
For sure. What's up? We got to look at Bitcoin before we leave. Can't leave without the crypto.
Yeah, so Bitcoin's kind of just creeping into that 110 support level, 110K. Again, if the Fed cuts rates, I would be bullish on Bitcoin if they say, no, we're not going to cut rates. We're going to hold off a little bit. Bitcoin might see a bit of a sell to the 200-day moving average, which would be about 100K. I don't have a strong technical opinion on Bitcoin. It's just kind of it's not clean. It's ugly. You got that false breakout, and now it's just sitting at support. It's kind of related to gold now. I do see more correlations with gold, but not a strong opinion on Bitcoin. A light dollar cost average, and then
I still dollar cost average in the Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's the most peaceful way to get involved with it. And if it got super oversold, that's where you'd put in the big lump.
That's where you got to start loading up the trucks, man.
Yeah, but like loading up the trucks, like while everybody's talking about it and it's super hype, like it might work in the short term, but it's tougher to get really good gains in the long term.
Yeah.
Michael
I was less when I had the most money in it. I was the least bullish. Like I put 100K in at 19K. When it was at 19K.
Oh, yeah.
And then I rolled it up to like 60 and I was like, man, let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and that's a good exit. Even though Bitcoin did go higher, think of the opportunity cost of it just chopping.
Yeah. Like for like a year or so, you know.
There is opportunity cost with your cash and investing. So if an investment takes too long to get to the damn point, to get to the price target, you could be using your money for your business. You could be using your money to invest in yourself, other stocks. Michael Saylor predicts Bitcoin is going to average about 30% gain a year for like the next 10 years. We'll see if he's right.
All right, Michael.
I don't know. You know?
We'll see what happens, Michael.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Greg. Yo, anything else you want to cover?
Those are the main things I wanted to cover. Watch.
Oh, real quick,
XPI.
I want to know about XLC, man. I think it's a good buy point, man.
XLC. You know, again, this is going to be affected by the Jackson Hole meeting tomorrow. Relative strength today. Google and Meta, top holdings at XLC. I really do like it. I mean,
you like the structure. You're just looking at the chart, right? It retests the breakout area. That's when you're supposed to buy, right? On paper, you're the market technician, right? But that's when you're supposed to buy.
It's a textbook buy setup. I think the way to play this is maybe go like a 0.5% position size right here, and then just be willing to average down to the 200-day, because it's a strong ETF. It's very unlikely to go to zero or get cut by 50% or anything like that. So yeah, maybe take a small position now and then add if it drops. Maybe you can average up if the market signals the all clear. Then you can just average up on the position. But I really do like XLC. Good idea.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got, man.
Sweet.
Guys, if you want to trade with us every morning, join Victory Trades. We trade futures every morning. We trade with funded accounts. We use Apex. If you want to join it, get Apex accounts, use code Victory Trades. And you can trade with us every morning. We'll help you get funded past the evaluation period. And then you can start trading live with us, man, like the other homies. You know, I made fucking
16 grand in one day. That's amazing. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks for having me, Brandon. See you, Victinators. Bye-bye.
Peace. All right. Any other super chats?
We have Platinum God Over Evil.
Okay.
How many hours should a person put in to master a high income skill? And how do you know you master it? Do we go to school and learn it, or just learn it in a month or two on our own and make sales? Appreciate your help.
It really depends, because it depends on the skill, right? It depends on the skill. Like if you want to be a full stack engineer, right, that might take fucking years, right? But if you want to be, it depends. It really depends. You can put, what I think of it, man, is it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert or something, right? If you're looking at the skill acquisition matrix that I came up with, you don't need 10,000 hours for most things, But if you're 10,000 hours, you're one of the best in the world. 10,000 hours of practice or something. From everything I read, and I deducted that 100 hours makes you like not bad. You're not good, but you're not bad. Like people ain't gonna make fun of you for it and shit. People ain't gonna make fun of you, but chicks ain't gonna be taking their bras off and throwing them at you, right? And so 100 hours, you're just not bad. People won't make fun of you. 1,000 hours is when you're like good, or like people see you like, yo, this motherfucker is good. This motherfucker is good. When you get 1,000 hours of practice at something, So anytime I'm trying to develop a new skill, I track how many hours I spend on it. That's something that I do. You get a few hundred hours, then listen, most people suck at most things, right? So 100 hours or two, you should be able to like start making some money. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 hours of real practice. And I don't mean studying, I mean practice. Is a difference, right? Because it's one thing to read about swimming, but if you're not in the pool, you're not practicing. You can read about basketball, but if you're not on the court, you're not practicing. If that makes sense. All right.
We have the Mondragon Cartel. We appreciate your content, mad relatable to a young Latino. Shout out from BK, grinding hard with my film skills so I can ball the F out someday soon.
Yo, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad. I love to hear that, man. Let's go. Yeah, you can put it up. I don't care.
We have Nav.
Yeah.
He just paid to say this. All right.
All right.
Brandon,
Hey,
you
man.
look like a typical scammer from Miami with your jewelry, designer, penthouse, and chisel jaw. All you need now is a Frenchie, and you'll have all the ultimate scammer infinity stone. This is funny coming from someone that watches every single fucking episode.
Yo, man, here's the thing, Nav. You got to get out more, man. Like, there's a lot of people with jewelry and designer, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get out more, man. Like, if you go to when you sit in first class, you see people of all walks of life. You know, I sat next to a dude in first class. He had on some design. He had some Louis Vuitton shoes, expensive watch, Panerai watch, super expensive one, you know, and some other jewelry. He had a Cartier bracelet. He owned a big restaurant out here, a big popular restaurant. He's the owner of a restaurant. So it's like, you just got to get out more, Nav. Like, you actually you're someone who, I can tell from your comment, you just don't have the kind of exposure to make a fair assessment, you know. It's all good, man. Once you start getting out more, especially when you get in big cities, you know, it's something that people say online. One thing they say a lot, I hear some people say, is, man, rich people don't dress like that. Rich people don't dress like Warren Buffett doesn't dress like this. I'm like, yeah, Warren Buffett's an old white man who lives in fucking Nebraska or some shit, or Wyoming or some shit. And of course not, right? But if you go to big cities, yo, man, the rich people are flexing. When I worked in a Prada store, when I was a security guard in a Prada store, like Jack Dorsey came in buying shit. Yeah, Jack Dorsey, the billionaire, you know, the motherfucker who started Block, Twitter, billionaire. He would come in there buying shit, man. You know, Anna Wintour would come through, man. The owner of Vogue, she'd be in there fucking flexing, you know, with fucking crazy jewelry. Like Anna Wintour wore some of the craziest jewelry I ever seen, and I know that, and that's a white lady. You know what I'm saying? It's different in big cities, man. It's big cities, or even other countries, right? Like if you go to the Middle East, the motherfuckers is flexing. They might be wearing robes and shit, but them motherfuckers got all the shit, man. It's different, man. It's different. It's just different in big cities, man. You know.
Nav has a follow-up. Now I'm just messing with you, bro. Don't get mad.
Oh no, I'm chilling, man. You know, I'm more like, I was just more, you know, when I heard it, I was more, man, this guy doesn't get out. He just doesn't get outside, man. It's all good. What else we got?
We have just Vegas in 3 weeks. Let's keep getting shredded.
Let's keep getting shredded. I like the sound of that. That's it?
All done.
All right, cool. All right. We got 20 minutes. I think I kind of went over it, but I'm gonna go over it again. How to go from 0 to 10K as an online trainer. Yeah, if we're gonna use the other one, I shouldn't do it. Okay, yo, I need a second to set up. I'm gonna do a different video. I'm gonna do what I planned on doing. I can't tell you why. We're gonna do something else, man. We're gonna do something else. All right. I know a lot of y'all need motivation. A lot of people ask me, man, how do you stay motivated? A lot A lot of people ask me, man, how do you stay more disciplined? How do I gain discipline? And this is important because the more discipline you have, the easier your life will be, right? People who are undisciplined, who can't force themselves to do what they're supposed to do, they have a difficult time in life. And here's the thing. The main key to discipline is the willingness to delay gratification, to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most, right? Think about it. All discipline is delayed gratification, right? When someone says they need discipline to work out, right? That means they have to do something they don't feel like doing in order to get the benefits down the line. Same thing with diet. You might have to eat some stuff you don't love in order to get the benefits down the line, right? It's almost like you're sacrificing a little bit of now for things to be later greater. And I think that that's a sign of maturity. I think that's a sign of maturity because when you talk to kids and toddlers, they can't grasp that concept. If a toddler don't get the toy now, he starts crying, acting a fool. Right? If he can't eat what he wants now, he starts crying and acting crazy. Right? But as that child matures, he's able to delay gratification. He starts doing chores and shit around the house. Okay, if I do this, then mom and daddy give me this. If I do my homework, then I get good grades, right? You start to understand that sometimes you have to sacrifice right now. Sometimes you have to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most. And here's the thing. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. Right? If you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. But it's a sacrifice either way, right? Don't think you're not making the sacrifice, right? So you got to make a sacrifice either way. When you're in a position where you need to be disciplined, you got to do something you don't want for something that you want down the line. It's a sacrifice either way. Either you're going to sacrifice in the moment or you're going to sacrifice the accomplishment down the line. And you really have to decide which sacrifice you want to make because it's one or the other. So a good key to discipline. The first thing I would say to someone who wants more discipline is to decide which sacrifice you want to make. What sacrifice you want to make? Do you want to sacrifice the present moment for a greater future, or do you want to sacrifice a greater future for the present moment? Now, the next thing you need to do is practice making that sacrifice, because discipline, it's like a muscle. Like the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So every time you're in a situation where you have to do something maybe you don't feel like doing in order to get something greater down the line, now you have opportunity to flex your discipline muscle. Right? And if you do that thing anyway, even though you don't feel like it, guess what? Next time you're in a situation like that, it will be easier for you to make the same decision. And here's the thing. The only time you get to flex that discipline muscle is when you have to do something you don't want to do. That's the only time you can flex that discipline muscle. Because if you want to do it, you're not using discipline. So you need to get excited when you have to do something you don't want to do, because you have to reframe it as, oh, this is an opportunity for me to flex my discipline muscle, to become stronger, more resilient. And you only get the opportunities over those circumstances, but you only get the opportunities under those circumstances. Now, here's the thing. If you get that opportunity and squander it, if you're in a position where you need to do something that you don't want to do in order to get something that you do want down the line, and you don't use discipline, guess what? It becomes easier to make that decision the next time that situation presents itself. So, because whatever you do is habit forming, right? If you build the habit of doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not, it's going to become gradually easier for you to do it because you're building the habit. But most of y'all been building bitch habits. Every time you're supposed to do something you don't feel like doing, you don't do it. And it becomes easier for you to make that decision every time you encounter that situation. So you basically training yourself to be a bitch, to be a punk, soft, weak. And you know what's even worse? A lot of you motherfuckers will be in situations where you're supposed to do something and you don't do it. That's bad enough. But then you do something fun instead, right? You give yourself a reward for not doing the things you're supposed to do. Like you're supposed to go to the gym, but instead you start playing video games and gooning simultaneously. You playing Splatoon and you also Splatooning all over your room. So you gave yourself a reward for doing something you're not supposed to do. Let me tell you how nefarious that is. If you have a pet, like a dog, and you want that, and that dog does something you wanted it to do more of, what do? You give it a treat. And the dog learns, oh, if I do this thing, I get a treat, right? And you train the dog to do the thing. And now it's doing it all the time, whether it gets a treat or not. You giving yourself a treat for being a bitch. So you training yourself just like you train them animals, right? Because you an animal, right? You giving yourself a reward for being a bitch. It's no wonder you making bitch decisions all the time because for years, maybe decades, you've been giving yourself rewards for not doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to follow a diet. Instead, you eat ice cream and cakes like a child, right? You gave yourself a reward for being a bitch. You're supposed to work out. Instead, you are playing Splagoon. You gave yourself a reward for being a bitch. You're supposed to study for school or learn something for work. Instead, you out here watching Real Housewives of Love Island, and gooning. You gave yourself a reward for being a bitch. So we need to stop that. What we need to do is reframe this whole thing as every time I do what I'm supposed to do, even when I don't feel like doing it, I'm making myself stronger, right? You get an internal reward because you know you're getting stronger. You know you're becoming more resilient. You know you're becoming a better person. You know you're becoming the man that you need to be to accomplish your real goals. And the third thing you need to do to be more disciplined is to stop being easy on yourself. I hear people say all the time, shit like, oh man, I've been dieting for a week. I deserve this cake or this candy. Or man, hey, you know, I've been working hard all week. One day of chilling won't hurt, right? And they make it easy for them to give in, you know, and they're easy on themselves, and they say all these things to mitigate the pain that they feel. They make all these excuses of why it's okay for them to fucking deviate from their goals. But the problem with that is everything you do is habit forming. You do it once, it's going to be easier to do it the next time. Right. And here's the thing. When you break a habit, like when you, let's use diet example. When you cheat on your diet, you're not cheating on your diet. You're stopping the diet. Make no mistake, you stop and you have to restart. Right. If you, I've been eating all week. I'm eating good all week. I'm going to take this weekend off. No. You have to restart your diet on Monday. And starting is the hardest part. Right? You're doing the most, you got to do the most difficult part over again. So instead, I think you should start being harder on yourself. Pause. Right? Don't be easy on yourself. If I don't do something I'm supposed to do, if I miss the gym for whatever reason, I fucking hate myself. And I think that's good. I think it's good because that's one of the reasons why I'm way more consistent than most people. Right? If I didn't follow my diet, I would hate myself. I don't know what that's like. I've been following my diet. I haven't had a cheat day in over 2 years. And even when I didn't do cheat days. I did cheat meals. But if I was to deviate from that, I would hate myself. And I think that's better when it comes to actually goal accomplishment and achievement. If you're all easy on yourself and you make it easy to be a bitch, being a bitch shouldn't feel good. You shouldn't be happy with yourself if you a bitch. You really need to be harder on yourself. Pause. Keep yourself accountable. Stop making excuses. Stop justifying your bitch behavior. And then it'll become easier. And here's the thing. When I stopped doing cheat days or cheat meals, it became easier to follow my diet because now I just don't do that anymore. And after a while, I started to lose the desire to have a cheat meal. See, abstinence is easier than moderation. People say everything in moderation, No. Moderation is more difficult than abstinence. Because if I was to eat some cake, it's delicious. I get it, you know. But then what happens is when I had those cheat meals, the next day I would have cravings and I would have to fight those cravings. Right now, I don't have to fight cravings. So it doesn't need as much discipline. I don't need discipline anymore because now I built the habit and I've trained myself to just eat a certain way. I'm just using diet as an example, but it's the same thing for everything. Right. I stopped drinking and getting high like over 10 years ago. But it wasn't like I get high sometimes, I drink sometimes. No, I just quit. Right. And after a while, once I quit, I lost the desire. So now when I'm around everybody in there drinking and shit or smoking, getting high, I have no desire. I have no desire to participate. But if I was doing it every once in a while, everything in moderation, then I would have to use a lot of discipline and restraint to not do it. But now it's automatic, right? It's automatic for me to go to the gym. Like, and if I don't go, I hate myself. You know, it's like, stop being easy on yourself and understand that abstinence is easier than moderation. All that, everything in moderation is the battle cry of the inconsistent. Right? I think if you follow this game plan and follow this structure, it'll be way easier for you to be disciplined and you will start running circles around motherfuckers. You do this shit for 90 days, you will be a different person. You do this shit for a year, you change your whole fucking life. You do this shit for multiple years, you'll be one of the most successful people you know. Don't fuck this up. I think we got another super chat.
We have Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, BBC, I'm working 70 to 80 hours weekly,
Let's go.
saving as much, thinking on getting my pilot license in the
Okay.
future. I admire and respect you like crazy, my goat.
Hey, man, shout out to you, brother. I love it, man. We're going to see you in the sky, brother. We're going to see you in the sky. Is that the last one? All right. Listen, guys, we do this every Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yo, and if you're trying to grow, if you want to learn how to grow your online fitness business, I'm doing a free training Wednesday, 8 p.m. I will take you by the hand and show you exactly how to grow your online fitness business, even if you don't have a lot of experience, even if you don't have even if you don't have a lot of experience, even if you're not certified, even if you don't have a big following. I'm gonna show you exactly how to grow your online fitness business. All right. And I'm not going to sell you anything on the call. In fact, if you try to buy anything, I'm gonna be like, nope, all you can do is learn. All you can do is soak up this game and learn. And I'm gonna stay on and I'm gonna answer all your questions. Hit the link in the description, register for that class. It's free training. All right. Holla at y'all. Peace.